Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Photographic Memory Podcast. And I'm excited to welcome to the program Dr. Shannon Panzo. Dr. Shannon, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a nice sunny day over here in sunny Australia. We're having good weather again.
Well, again, we're having pretty decent weather, a little chilly, but it's interesting week going into the holidays. So today we're going to really talk about, before we get there, we have to talk about the Dr. Shannon Panzo is a photographic memory expert, a brain management expert, and he also does mentoring. And just go to zuxpro.com for more information to check out all the different exciting things that he's doing. And our topic today is meditation. And I think it's perfect timing for Christians, again, who are celebrating Holy Week, and how silence is a great thing at times, constantly talking 24/7, that kind of taking a break. And meditation, in so many ways, is, you think about meditation in different ways. But as a brain management expert, you really understand what meditation is, right?
Well, whenever we talk about meditation, you can basically bring it down to two different types of meditation. I'll start with the one that we typically don't use, and that is I'll just refer to this as a yoga style meditation. Yoga style meditation is often used in a lot of different contexts, and this is quieting the mind. And there are
Yes.
benefits to quieting the mind. And so, yes, if you learn to quiet the mind, you can become more productive. You have more control over the mind. It does take quite a bit of discipline to do so. The types of meditation that we use, it's quite different because
Mhm.
ours are meditation of action. These go straight involved with the law of attraction in personal programming, what you want to see happen in your life, uh, dealing with your dealing with your personal holographic universe. All these things are bringing those things into focus as to what meditation means to us. Now, that isn't to say that you want to necessarily leave the opportunity to quiet your mind, but there's a whole lot of other things that you can do there
There you
once
go.
you tap into the subconscious.
So, in ways you're saying, there's meditation where you're kind of thinking about nothing except letting go. But the kind of meditation you like is really the way that you can control and program your mind to have good things happen to you, or the right opportunities to happen to
Right. So essentially, meditation and prayer are the same thing.
you. Right.
Now, whenever you assign yourself to a religious study, what one of the things that they do is they teach you how to pray. Now, whenever you learn how to pray, it has a very distinctive function. Now, the function of prayer is actually
Right.
lost. The actual functionality of prayer, the meaning of that has been lost over time. Even though you're being taught how to do it correctly, they don't necessarily know why you're doing it that way. And this has to do with your posture. You'll find that whenever you're taught how to pray, the uh, all the all the body on one side mirrors the body on the other side. Okay,
Right.
so in other words, if you're prostate, you're prostate in a continuous position. If you are kneeling, you are both knees would be on the ground. Things like this. So these are specific ways that we learn how to pray. Now, why is this? Well,
Yeah.
we actually have two sides of our brain. And in order for us to be in commune with God, we have to initiate both sides of the brain at the same time. So, this is why
Mhm.
we have a very specific posture whenever we are praying. And that posture will be the same on one side as it is on the other. And this is so that we can create the environment that we're actually communicating with God. This this one simple concept has been completely forgotten and lost through time. Uh, it's amazing that such a simple principle can simply be forgotten.
Right. Why is it forgotten?
Well, I guess whenever you have people, and really a lot of the churches and things like this have a political setup, how they're orchestrated. So the people that originally knew back when, well, they were the hierarchy, and they considered
Right.
these things the secrets. Well, some of the secrets were lost. Some of the secrets were not passed along, and so this is the reason why. Now, for instance, if you go into some churches, they will have frankincense as they will be burning frankincense on coals, and it produces a perfume in the air specific to frankincense. Now, why is this? Well, frankincense, whenever you burn frankincense, it produces a smoke that is very calming. Well, that is actually contributing to the ambiance that you want to achieve while you're in church studying about God.
Right.
So there is actually purpose behind these things, again, that are either forgotten, lost, or the hierarchy has not been telling people what it's all about.
Right.
And
You have
that's
to have a
okay
certain
too.
calming effect when you pray, especially in
Right,
church or especially in silence. Prayer while screaming and yelling and no one's focused is not going to be as powerful prayer as meditation for programming purposes, right? For prayer.
right, right. Now, recently, our spiritual uh, our spiritual practices have come under assault, and this is also with social distancing. Whenever you have people in communal prayer, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to join hands. Okay, they're not
Right.
supposed to be a social distancing. Why is this? Because the force of the circle is much greater at communicating with God than the singular person. And so holding hands connects the people together to achieve various functions whenever we're condemned to this social distancing. It actually breaks our the
Right.
spiritual backbone.
Really. So social distancing definitely breaks the spiritual background. That's crazy to know that. Meaning is because you're losing that sense of community while meditating.
Right. And if you have prayer or meditation in a communal fashion, usually it's directed by one person, and everybody follows that line of thinking. This is what gives the prayer power to reach up, reach up into God's ear, if you will, and helping to manifest things in that way. Now, so that's basically when it comes to prayer. Now, whenever you're doing meditation, meditation is usually a singular item, unless you're in
Right.
with a group that does meditation. So you can do meditation on your own, understanding that what that does, it connects you to the
Right.
source. Now, you can call the source, you can call it God, you can call it the universe, uh, however you however you relate to that. So it's really important that you understand of just a few of the little tiny principles as to what makes prayer more effective or meditation more effective.
See that, and that's interesting about communal. So it works the same way for meditation or for manifesting and using programming. Being in a group, you do better than just individualized.
As long as the direction of the group is defined, and in prayer in a religious setting, usually there's a leader that leads the prayer, and everybody is thinking in that similar direction. That gives the prayer strength. In meditation, the same thing is true. Really, the only thing that designates the difference between prayer and meditation is the religious context. Most people don't think of meditation as being prayer, but they are actually the same thing.
Yes. And certain religious people believe meditation as a meditation is prayer, especially
Well,
before a specific time of how the church taught. They use the word meditation a lot in prayer, a type of meditation.
right.
A type of prayer
Well,
is meditation. Yes.
I've been around. I've been around long enough to see the metaphysical movement and things like this. So the word meditation and prayer were segmented in a draconian fashion for quite a number of years. Now they're bringing it back together and saying,
So, how's this
saying
deal with
that
photographic memory or brain
how's this deal?
management?
Okay, well, anytime that you're actually using your photographic memory, the remember the mental photography is the greatest brain exercise in the world. It exercises your brain like nothing else, and it's all natural.
True.
It uses your photographic memory. Now, by exercising your photographic memory, your brain automatically becomes stronger, more resilient, more applicable to whatever you want to apply it to. The things that you want to apply it to become easier, better, being more effective. So, whenever it comes to your prayer or meditation, well, this has a direct impact on your ability to have to be effective at prayer meditation. And of course, whether you're speaking to God or whether you're using the law of attraction, both apply. This is a mind discipline. We teach people how to discipline their mind for results. And that's the bottom line right there, getting results.
Okay. All right. So let's go from there. As I was meditating on meditation, manifestation. Now, manifestation in so many ways, Dr. Shannon, is part of prayer and meditation, manifestation. You talk about programming and the importance of programming because you program good things to happen to you and you really believe these things will happen, you will have that result. How long does that take to program things in your life to make them better off than you were before?
Well, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting about prayer. Even though prayer is extremely effective, quite often people don't expect prayer to do anything.
And if
And
you
this
do
is
that,
the
then and that's the problem right off the bat, right?
right, because you're there doing your prayers, and if you don't expect their change to be made, it won't happen. It simply is not there. Or if you pray for something that you really don't want it to happen or really don't want it to take place, it's not going to happen. You have to truly want it. And no, it isn't, going to God and wishing for a pony. This is serious. You have to take the right approach, and you have to have that level of belief. And yes, religion can be a little bit dogmatic as to how they approach getting that point across. Uh, when it comes to meditation and the law of attraction, it has a much easier formula. Although it's confusing, it does have an easier formula, and so it allows people to expect to reach out and produce some change. The key thing is, and this is one of the biggest points that I put across to my clients, and that is never try to change other people.
Ah,
Only change yourself.
that makes
So
sense. That makes sense. It really does.
if you're manipulating yourself to be the better person, you will attract better things. If you are manipulating others, well, then the golden rule applies. It's not going to It's not going to give you what you want to achieve. It may give you some short-term gains, but it's not going to give you lifelong gains. So
That's
these
why
are,
self-development is such an important facet. Self-development.
well, it is very important to understand these principles and what you're doing so that you can get good results, good lasting results. And it's just like a decision. The decision that you made yesterday is going to reveal itself in what happens today. The decisions that you make today will reveal themselves in what
Yes.
happens tomorrow. So it's always wise to make good decisions because then you will have a very fulfilling life if you're making good decisions. If you're making bad decisions,
Which we talked about in another podcast. So through
right.
meditation, meditating. So give us an example of how you meditate. And I'm sure you do this in your mentoring. You teach people you mentor, you teach them how to meditate or give them some suggestions of how to meditate to manifest things to be better in their life and program.
Well, we actually have a set of meditation sessions that a person actually uses to start to understand our principles and how we meditate, and then they can then go and use those same principles on meditating for their own benefit, and that's how we want to do it. Now, when it comes to my higher teaching, which is the mentoring, yes, I actually take more of a hands-on approach as to assisting my clients with meditating, solving the issues that they create with their meditations, um, because meditation can be problematic, and if you don't approach something in the right
Right.
way, it's not going to happen.
How long should you
Or
do a day? How much long should you do meditation a day?
Well, typically we do we do two or three 15-minute relaxation sessions or meditations each day. Uh, one of those we have a pre-recorded. We have some pre-recorded. Use one of those uh, for one of them, and then you have a couple extra each day. Now the good thing is every time you do a 15-minute relaxation session, this equates to between 2 to 4 hours of actual sleep.
So where's that research? And that's interesting because you keep mentioning why do doctors believe you need to have 7, 8 hours of sleep?
I haven't seen that much sleep in a long time. Um, I don't sleep that often. I don't. I mainly get 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night. That's fine. Stay in a state of alpha. Stay relaxed for the remainder of that time, and I'm rejuvenating.
Interesting.
No, you do not need that type of sleep. You do not need to be sleeping a third of your life away. Uh, there's all kind of evidence that shows, and there are experts that do come out that actually say 6 hours sleep is the maximum you really need, and anything more than that, you're not doing yourself any good.
You're escaping from reality after 6. Okay. We'll take that as the Dr. Shannon says so. But no, I think the moving forward from this conversation today is meditation needs to be something that's structured, organized, and will bring results in your life. If you're just meditating to meditate, that is not the answer with the Zux Pro method or brain management method, correct?
Right. So, in other words, if you want to get a lot more out of life, then you learn how to meditate the correct way and you use it.
All right. We've already told you where people can go, zuxpro.com. Check out all the episodes. Follow Dr. Shannon on all social media platforms and check out the podcast, not just audio, but video. So, and also YouTube. So, all these different places to find you, Dr. Shannon. So, I appreciate it. And is any of your books cover meditating?
Not specifically. Uh, the Zux Pro specifically does cover the meditating, but beyond that, obviously, there's going to be time spent in learning how to meditate beyond that, and that's really where the instruction starts at is Zox Pro.
All right. So that was again a great photographic memory podcast. Really enjoyed the conversation on meditation. I was practicing it throughout that process, thinking about manifesting where I'm going next. And it's important to look at that and to really focus your attention to let your brain relax. And when your brain relaxes, you feel rested, re very good and ready to go. So I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me for another great talk.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Shannon. Take care. I learned a lot.